Welcome to the Department of Environmental Quality's electronic reporting system called nForm. This training video will show you how to complete the 110-301 lead-based paint individual certification application form in the nForm system. The individual lead-based paint certification application can be reached in two ways. One of the ways is by the link on our DEQ webpage. If you click on this link, it will take you to the respective form. On this form, you will need to log in using the username and password that you set up when you registered your account. From here, you can proceed to the form and start entering the information. The other way is to go to the nForm page directly and go to the drop-down list to look up the lead-based paint form that you need. Or you can use the Finder function in the top upper right corner to put in a keyword such as 301 or individual certification application and pull up the certification application that you need. Once you have clicked on the application link, it will take you to the form landing page. This page starts out with some important information for you to read over, including the types of applications, which include initial, renewal, and reinstatement. We will go over the different types of forms and the information that is necessary for you to provide with each type. Once you are ready to begin, click on Begin Form Entry on the bottom of the page. It is important to note that you can save your progress at any time and return to complete the form later if needed. The first application question will have you start by indicating which type of application you are submitting, whether it's an initial, a renewal, or reinstatement application. For an initial application, you will need to determine if you want the certification to be activated as soon as it is approved and then apply for renewal on March 31st, or wait until the start of the next certification year on April 1st for the certification to become active. If you are needing to submit a renewal application, it must be filed by March 31st. Other than the general applicant information and affidavit, the only other information you will need for a renewal application is the training certificate. Reinstatement applications are for certifications that have not been renewed within the last year. They require a reinstatement request letter to be uploaded, as well as a copy of your training certificate. For the purposes of this training video, we will be going over the initial application. You will need to enter information on the discipline you are applying for. Different qualifying items may be required depending on which discipline you are applying for. For the sake of this training video, we will use a risk assessor certification application as an example, since it requires the most types and amount of information. Next, you will see a place for you to fill in information about yourself, including your Social Security number, which is required, followed by information about your firm. You will also see a place to mark if you would like your certification listed on the DEQ webpage. This list is available for the general public to review and select certified contractors for hire. Next, you will see a place that requires an affidavit regarding citizenship. There is a link here that will take you to where you could download this affidavit. Once you have filled it out and had it notarized, you could scan it and upload it to this form. Following that, you will see an area to submit a general affidavit about the form submission. Again, there is a link above this box for you to download the form, and once it is filled out and notarized, it can be scanned and attached here. The next section will be in regards to applying for a fee exemption. Only mark this box if you wish to file for the exemption and meet the requirements of working as part of a state or political subdivision entity only. These firms will receive a fee waiver but will not be listed on the DEQ webpage for public hire. An affidavit stating the responsible official is part of a state or political subdivision entity must be filled out, notarized, and scanned so it can be attached to this form. You can reach the affidavit by clicking this link. Click on the next section. Which section that is will depend on the discipline you are applying for. If you are applying for the inspector or abatement worker, the next section will be the training information. Project designers and supervisors have additional sections for education, experience, resumes, and references. Risk assessors are required to enter information for all the aforementioned sections with the addition of a professional certification section. I will walk you through each section, or you can fast forward to the section that are appropriate for your certification application. Verification of the requirements you will need can be found on the DEQ website in OAC 252-110 Oklahoma Lead-Based Paint Management Regulations. If you're completing the application for a risk assessor, the next section will be an area to list and include information on any professional certifications you may have. This section is only required for those applying for risk assessor. Here you will indicate if you wish to include and scan in a professional certificate to assist in meeting those qualifications. If the education page is your next section, then you will be required to scan and attach proof of your highest level of education. If the experience page is the next section for you, you will see areas for you to fill in with relevant job experience. If you have two jobs that are similar, you can click on Duplicate Experience and alter information that is different. You have the ability to add as many as you may need. Refer to OAC 252-110 for education and experience requirements for each discipline. The option to upload a resume or reference sheet is a separate section. There is a spot in the section for you to upload this information. All disciplines are required to enter evidence that you have received training for the certifications for which you are applying. Be sure both the discipline and the class type listed on the certificate matches what you're applying for with this application. You will be asked if you wish to use the certification from another state or agency. If you select this option, be aware there will be an additional $500 fee per certification for an equivalency review. Below that question, there's a place for you to scan in and attach a copy of your class completion certificate or equivalency documentation if that is the option you have chosen. Then you will click on the Review button below. In the Review page, you will look over your application for completeness. If you are satisfied, you can then click Certify and Submit. You can also click Print Review and print out a copy for your records. On the Certify and Submit page, there is a statement for you to read over. Once you have done that, you can click on the Submit Form button to finalize and submit your form. But if you are not ready to submit it at this time, you can click on Save and Exit and finish it later. Once you have submitted your application, you will get a pop-up stating that your entry has been submitted and that payment is required. You can choose one of two payment options. You can choose to pay via mail, which includes making a payment over the phone, in which case you will click on the Pay by Mail button and receive a payment voucher that you will need to print off and mail in with this payment. If you choose to pay online, it will walk you through the payment portal and steps to make an online payment. Once payment is complete, be sure to print off the receipt at that time. It's not always possible for the DEQ to pull up receipts after the payment has been made. If you choose No Thanks, I will pay later, be aware that your application will not be processed until payment has been made. At this point, you'll receive an email stating the submission has been received. It will be reviewed, and once it has been accepted and deemed complete, you'll receive an email stating this. If during the review process any need for corrections are found, you will receive an email about these requested changes. For more information on correction requests, please see the correction request training video, which will outline that process for you. Once you have made your submission, you can find the entry under the tab My Submissions, which is in the upper right-hand corner of your screen. Here you will find a list of your submissions, including the submission ID number and its current status. If you need to make a revision to a submission that has not yet been submitted or is in the review process, you can get to the entry here by clicking on the arrow by the entry over on the right-hand side. If it has been marked complete or issued, it cannot be changed unless it is unlocked for you by one of the Lead-Based Paint staff. Once the submission has been completed and approved, you'll be able to print off your Lead-Based Paint individual certification letter and certificate from the overview page under Documents and Attachments. You can reach that page by clicking on the arrow next to the entry. And here you will see the individual Lead-Based Paint certificate that you'll need for your certification. This has been training on how to submit information for the 110-301 Lead-Based Paint Individual Certification Application Form. If you need any assistance, please feel free to contact us at DEQ at 405-702-4100 or via email at lbpreporting@deq.ok.gov.